After 8 years of sacrifice helping my wife become a lawyer, she handed me divorce papers the day she passed the bar exam. "I don't need you anymore," she said. "I have my license." She had no idea. I was already 3 moves ahead. When I first met her, she wasn't the monster people expect me to describe. She was decent, supportive, cooked when I came home late, picked up groceries sometimes. She had a plan. Law school, bar exam, career, future. That word hooked me. My nights were spent working double shifts. She was buried in textbooks. We ate frozen dinners more nights than I can count. No vacations, but I believed in the grind. When she said, "Once I pass the bar, everything will be different," I bought into it like gospel. Then, somewhere between her last year of classes and bar prep, things shifted. Instead of "our future," she started saying, "my career." One night, I mentioned finally taking that trip we'd kept putting off. She didn't look up from her notes. "That's not a priority for me right now. My career is what matters." Bills sat unopened. Dishes piled up. If I had a rough week at work, she'd barely react. I told myself it was stress. Looking back, those weren't temporary cracks. They were the real her slipping through. The bar exam results came out on a Tuesday. When she screamed, I thought it was joy for us. She turned the screen toward me. I passed. No, we did it. Just I. That night, her classmates organized a dinner downtown. When dessert rolled around, she slid a manila envelope across the table. Divorce papers. Her face was calm, cold, rehearsed. "I already signed my part. All you need to do is finish it. I don't need you anymore. I have my license. I have job offers. You were helpful during school, but that chapter is over." Helpful. 8 years reduced to helpful. I thumbed through the papers. She divided what she wanted: the car, the apartment, furniture she'd never bought. She left me the legal bare minimum. What she didn't know was I'd been preparing for months. When the red flag started, I'd quietly moved my record collection to a storage unit, then my tools, my grandmother's china. The apartment looked the same, but it was a furnished shell. I'd funneled money into a separate account she didn't know existed. The lease, my name, utilities, my name, the car she drove, registered to me, payments from my account. When she smugly pushed that envelope across the table, she wasn't taking anything. I signed the acknowledgement of service. Her expression shifted with every stroke. She expected begging. "Congratulations," I said, sliding the papers back, "on passing the bar and on your divorce. That's it? You're not even going to—" Why would I fight for someone who just called me dead weight? I walked out. No yelling, no begging. Just gone. Within weeks, her fantasy collapsed. That shiny job, junior associate, 80-hour weeks, barely more than I'd made. 6 figures of law school debt waiting. The apartment, I'd terminated the lease. When she tried to stay, the landlord said she'd have to reapply. Her credit wasn't good enough. I'd shut off every utility. She walked into 4 walls with no power, no internet, no shot at staying. She ended up with 2 roommates. One asked her, "So you dumped the guy who paid for everything, and now you can't cover your share?" I relocated to San Francisco. New apartment, new job, and for the first time in a decade, my life was mine. She tried calling constantly. Different numbers every day. Texts about regret and second chances. I didn't reply. Silence was my weapon. She showed up at my workplace claiming family emergency. HR escorted her out. She started parking outside my house. I filed a police report. The real confrontation came at Home Depot. I was loading lumber when I heard her voice. "Please, just give me 5 minutes." She looked wrecked. Dark circles, thinner than I remembered. 5 minutes for what? To apologize. To ask for another chance. You had 8 years of chances. I was stressed. I've regretted it every day. Which part? Calling me dead weight? Or realizing that dead weight was keeping your whole life afloat? I love you. I always did. You loved what I provided. There's a difference. I pulled out 2 things. 1, restraining order, signed yesterday. 2, my wedding invitation. Her face drained of color. The following week, she erupted in my office lobby. Full meltdown. Screaming, crying, shouting that I owed her. Security dragged her out while people recorded. My company filed a harassment report. Combined with the restraining order, it went to her law firm. They called it a liability issue. Pack your desk. The state bar suspended her license. Her parents cut her off. Her dad told family, "She's no daughter of mine. No career, no husband, no family, just debt and memories of what she threw away."